Are you someone that struggles with shoulder tightness, or maybe your shoulder just doesn't feel stable, or maybe you notice when you're exercising, one shoulder just feels off, or your shoulder blade seems to come off your rib cage? Maybe you're having pain across different areas of your shoulder, or you just feel like that shoulder just kind of wings forward or rolls forward and doesn't sit back and down very easily. If that sounds familiar, this video is going to be really good for you. I'm going to go over one exercise that I give a lot of my patients to help with their posture, getting their shoulders back and down, but also improving the movement of the shoulder blade and the stability of the shoulder as a whole. And that's called a serratus wall slide. And the reason why is because you're sliding your arms up the wall and you're working your serratus, which is a muscle that sits right here below the pec. And it actually wraps clear up underneath the front side of the rib cage. And what that does is that pulls your shoulder blade against the rib cage and helps it glide and rotate as you're moving your arm. If it's weak, what you'll notice is your shoulder blade will kind of wing off the rib cage itself, and that can cause a host of problems in the shoulder, all around the shoulder, and posture problems as well. So this exercise is very underrated in my opinion. It's easy to do. You don't need much equipment, and it can really help. So what you need at home, optional, is a band. I like to show patients to do it with a band. And what you're going to do is you're going to get on the wall, and we're going to be working on moving our arms overhead. And I'm going to show you how to do that. But I want to show you from this angle, because what you'll notice is as you get above your head, the weak serratus is going to do what my left side is wanting to do, which is you'll see a little bit of flaring of that elbow. You want to keep those elbows here as you're going overhead, and that's where it gets tricky and it gets hard. The other thing is you'll notice your arm wants to rotate inward. So I'm going to show you what the exercise looks like with a foam roller. What you want to do is get that foam roller in front of you about the height of your chest, and then you're just placing your wrist or this side of your hand on the foam roller, and you're rolling it up, but you want to keep your rib cage and your pelvis still and stacked as you roll forward. And again, we're not letting this arm come out as we go up to get overhead. We're going to keep that in line with our wrist, and I'm putting outward pressure into the band. So we're here, and then keeping that outward pressure, keeping my torso still. I got to work really hard in this last range of motion to get overhead. And I come right back down. You can see my left arm is having a hard time. I've injured that serratus before. We're going up, and I got to fight, and I feel it right in that area I talked about where that muscle sits. I can just feel that muscle burning already just with a few reps. It's a very easy exercise to do. It looks easier than it is, but anybody can try this. And as long as you're not tilting your pelvis forward and you're arching your back, you want to keep that still here, and you're not winging that shoulder or that elbow out or rolling it. Your wrist, you should activate here, which is going to create better stability in the shoulder, but really strengthen the serratus. So normally what I tell people to do is to try to do 3 sets of 10. Now, if you do this more, you'll be able to do that. A lot of my patients, I'll have them try this on the wall before they go home. We'll go through a set, and by the time we get to the second set of 10, they're so fatigued, their arms are shaking, they're having a hard time completing 3 sets of 10. That's the recommendation, but you can build up to that as the serratus gets stronger. But if you try this at home and you feel that activation through here, do as many of you can and then stand up. What you will notice is your shoulders just naturally pack down into a better position. You'll be more upright. Your posture will look better. Your shoulder will get more stable from this exercise. And it can help with a lot of shoulder issues, especially if you're noticing with your pressing motions or your push-ups, or when you're pushing something around the house or trying to wrestle something like my 3-year-old that's jumping all over the place. That shoulder blade and that shoulder just feels a little more compact and stable, and you don't flare it up quite as often. So the serratus wall slide, using a foam roller and a band, that outward pressure, it's really good for you. Give this one a shot for your shoulder. I hope it helps, and I'll talk to you soon.